stuff here. And let's start the show! Hey everyone, I'm Jeff from InThirdPerson.com, personal look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. Happy Sunday morning if you're watching this live on Twitch. Good morning, Ian. I hope your vacation is going well if you're still on vacation or if you went on vacation. I know you are going on vacay really soon. And yes, we're here playing some more Tetris 99 on the Nintendo Switch as we usually do. Yeah, we're gonna... I mean, this is probably foreshadowing a little too much. We're gonna take a little bit of a break from Tetris next week. We're gonna play something else on the weekend. Just to mix it up a little bit, keep it interesting for me. Ian says, not yet. I leave December 1st. Okay, you still got a couple weeks to go. That's good. How are things? How's your weekend going? My wife and I... Oh, my camera's like in a weird spot. Like, I have it up here for Luigi's Mansion, but we're not playing Luigi's Mansion. Let's go... like, here? Somewhere around here. Whatever Pokemon are here, not as important. Let's keep it somewhere in the middle. There we go. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna have to move it for Pokemon, because I remembered on the Pokemon stream I was covering up some of the Pokemon in that spot. So, I'll have to remember that for next time. Jet will remember that. My wife and I, on Friday, we saw... Okay, actually, rewind. We went to an arcade. There's not that many. A lot of them died out, but they're kind of making a bit of a resurgence in my area. Alright, Ian says, pretty good. It's been a nice balance of busy and chill. Friday night, played some D&D. Yesterday, I worked on session prep for a Dungeon World game. And I am running tonight. And yesterday... Oh, that you're running tonight. And yesterday evening, we had dinner with my in-laws. Ah, fantastic. So yes, D&D, I remember we had this conversation about you play lots of tabletop RPGs, but not D&D specifically, correct? And if so, how did D&D go? I guess even if that's not the case, how did D&D go? Were our heroic adventurers able to make it to whatever goal it was that they had set up? Oh, jeez. It's okay, we can fix that. Woo! Da-na. And so yeah, Pokemon Sword and Shield, that music is, we're playing with the Pokemon Sword and Shield theme, which, very current. Pokemon Sword and Shield had a massive debut in spite of the backlash, in spite of the haters. The game has become the fastest selling Nintendo game of all time, and I think that's great news. I think, yeah, it's a really good game. People seem to really enjoy it. I'm not to say that it's a perfect game, because it's not, and I think there are absolutely ways the Game Freak can improve, but I'm glad to see that some of the more unreasonable criticisms about the game did not kind of turn the tide on the success of Pokemon. And we could talk about like what you would like to see Pokemon improve on, because I certainly have some suggestions as well. And I'm sure everybody does, whether you like the franchise or not. I don't know if everyone would truly say, like, hey, Pokemon is perfect as is, and it never needs to... Well, actually, I can think of at least one person that would say that. And Ian says, yeah, this was the third session of my first D&D 5th edition campaign. We did manage to accomplish our quest this session and end up with so much XP, we leveled up twice. That's usually pretty rare. It's been fun enough, but definitely not my favorite tabletop. Tell me more. Throw some slander on Dungeons & Dragons here. Why is it not your favorite? Oh man, I was saying some stuff. Oh, Pokemon. Yes, Pokemon did incredibly well. Congratulations, Game Freak. Congratulations, Nintendo. And I look forward to seeing where the franchise goes next. I think there's definitely some stuff I would like to see improved that I think will happen. I think... I mean, there are aspects of the graphics that look really good, some of it not so much. I think that'll get cleaned up once they eventually move to a new engine. Oh, if there's a way to, like, make the story a little less rigid, like the formula of, like, hey, you're a kid and you have to go to these 8 gyms and there's a rival and there's this other side story which will wrap its way around in some other way. I don't know. I just feel like there's more you could do in that framework. And to a certain extent, they've tried. Like Alola and Ultra Sun and Moon did not have gyms per se. This is not looking great. No, we're done. Here we go. Ian says, without going too heavy into tabletop design discourse, I prefer games where the narrative is the focus. In D&D, you as the player have to mold your character's actions to the choices limited to you in the rules. In a narrative-focused game, the rules are better at bending to allow you to take whatever action you want to describe. See, I always thought... I did not know D&D had rigid choices. I thought the whole point of playing these tabletop role-playing games was that you can kind of answer however you want, and it's up to the DM to adapt accordingly. And yes, you're not going to have answers for every single outcome off the top of your head, but you have the framework there to, like, resolve things as you go. Alright, let's try this again. Bum, bum, bum. And yeah, Sword and Shield, I'm at the... I just finished the 4th gym, which was the fighting gym in Pokemon Sword. And it was the first time I lost a gym battle, and it was because I miscounted. There were... Well, one, I rolled in because I wanted to roll with fighting or Psychic-type Pokemon, and I think I went in a bit under-leveled with those because those are Pokemon that I picked up just before the fight. And my big mistake, beyond that, my big mistake was that I popped Dynamax too early. I thought this was going to be another boss with 3, another leader with 3 Pokemon, and it actually had 4. And so I popped it during the 3rd one, and then the Dynamax boss just wiped me out. And Ian says, it's mainly combat. Battles are strictly turn-based. You have a limited number of actions to choose from, and a lot of cool things you might want to describe in a fight. Jumping off stuff, throwing things at people, whatever. Don't actually do anything. Ah, okay. I wonder if that's just a way of, like, streamlining the rules so that it's easier for newer players and DMs to manage. But in any case, glad you're still having fun, and there are other options if D&D is not your cup of tea. No shortage of options for that style of game. And it's cool to see D&D kind of pick up in the world of streaming. There are some major channels that specialize in streaming D&D, and it's starting to catch on in that sense. Just widening the audience and making it a show for more people to enjoy. And yeah, streaming... We would love to stream D&D at some point. And yeah, I think the ongoing challenge is Discord. I think I still have not resolved all the issues that come with that software. I haven't tested it since you and I streamed. But I hope that kind of sorts itself out. Because yeah, Jason wanted to do a stream with us where he teaches us how to play D&D. Let's put that there for now. And we're still planning on it. We haven't talked about it in a while, but it's still in the cards for at some point. Uh-oh. Oh yes, Pokemon Sword and Shield. So I lost my first gym battle. It was the fourth gym, the fighting gym, but eventually got through. I played it again and it was fine. And I'm still very much enjoying the game. I like the improvements they've made. It feels like a little more fluid in the way that I'm getting through it. I do enjoy the wild area. Just the opportunity to catch so many different Pokemon out in that open space, and it feels like there's new stuff there every time I go. And so that's been great to kind of have that one giant area to explore. Even if the world itself, like, I wish there was more going on in the wild than just here's a largely empty field with patches of grass with Pokemon in it. Okay. And Ian says, I've heard a lot of folks say that B is pretty tough. She can be tough, yes. The first time I lost, I think that was just me mismanaging my team. With the second fight, I did beat it, but it did come down to the last Pokemon. I think one of the challenges early on is that her first Pokemon is a Hitmontop, who spams quick attack, so it's always hitting first. And it does pretty decent damage. So that was one of the things I had to adjust to, of like, this Hitmontop is going to squeeze in a bunch of hits first, and my first Pokemon is going to go down before the Hitmontop. How far are you right now, Ian, in Sword and Shield? Da, 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 da. Alright. We're almost there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. We created an awkward double dependency here, and it's going to take a little bit longer to get through. Ah! Okay. Not too late. We can still make something happen here. Alright, go. Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright. This is still really high. I don't like how high this stack is. Okay, we can still do it. Woo! Oh, I could have set up a T-spin right there, but that's okay. Let's just try and stay alive. That'll be the focus. And Ian says, last time I played, I beat the first gym. Okay. I'm way behind. Okay, I'll have to read it after. But, okay, you are heading towards the second gym. Got it. Yeah, it's been interesting going through the internet and reading sort of the responses to the to how well Pokemon's selling, and people are saying, "Oh, this is Game Freak's excuse to be lazy forever. It's our fault that the Pokemon games are always lazy. If you keep buying these games, it's just going to tell Game Freak that we're okay with accepting half-baked games," and like. It does irk me some. Like, I do think there are valid concerns. Hey, top 10. About Pokemon, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and Pokemon as a franchise as a whole, and its evolution or lack thereof. I don't necessarily know if they've picked the right battlegrounds, though. Let me catch up on Ian's messages here. Last time I played, I beat the first gym. I'm way behind compared to most of my friends who are playing. Okay. Savor it. Enjoy it. Catch all the Pokemon. All the ones in the game. And There's no rush. It's not a competition. I figured out how raids work. I figured it out. I ended up getting to play one with a friend, and it was neat. I got one of my Pokemon on my team from that. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. It's probably it's one of the new Pokemon, I think. Yeah, it's clunky. It's such a clunky way of getting in. Like, you have to... One, you have to connect to the internet. Like, that's a separate action, which I don't think I was connected to the internet, which would have made the whole thing fail anyway. But also, I have to connect to the internet, and then when you log into the internet, there's a list of notifications on the side, and it's like everybody there, not just your friends, like all the notifications. And you have to find your friend's notification and say, yes, I want to join that. And there's no way to refresh it. At least I couldn't find a way to refresh the listings, because I think I logged in a bit too soon, and then my friend did the thing, and I had to like disconnect and reconnect to the internet in order to see their listing, which is now at the very bottom. Nintendo Online. And Ian says, the main thing I have so many games to play right now. I'm working through 3 video games, have 2 tabletop campaigns. Plus, with my vacation coming up, I've been trying to get ahead on adventure rules. It definitely makes slow progress in games. I hear you. Yeah, the raid system is so unintuitive and impractical. If Nintendo really needs to figure out how to make online work. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I hear you, just with a lot to catch up on. I would love to play more Luigi's Mansion, and at this point, there's just too much going on. So that'll be on the back burner until after I finish Pokemon Sword. And yeah, there's only so many hours in the day, and yeah, split between 3 video games, 2 campaigns. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, for me, it's those 2 games, it's all the stuff related to streaming, it's writing for the blog. We had man, like just before, I had a really rough morning this morning. I woke up to 20 gigs of hard drive space disappearing, and I don't know where it went. And unfortunately, the partition that I normally record to doesn't have a lot of space, and I should probably move the folder that I record these in. But, oh geez. Yeah, so I lost 20 gigs of space. I'm gonna have to figure that out, because that's where, like, Windows is installed and all that stuff. So, yeah, I was trying to do a search to figure out how that was working. My audio was going in and out of sync. That was weird, and to the point about the webcam that I was talking about just before I hit record. Yesterday, while I was also trying to figure out some stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah, for those just tuning in, Jeff from inthirdperson.com. I'll continue the story in a sec. Personal look at video games, board games, other nerdy pursuits. We're playing Tetris 99, Invictus mode on the Nintendo Switch. And yesterday, I was doing some troubleshooting, trying to transfer pictures off my iPhone onto my computer. It's the worst process. It's always been the worst process. Ugh. The phone always, like, runs into issues where it doesn't recognize, and now I've run into a thing where my computer doesn't necessarily read file types properly off the phone. Like, it'll say image file IMG3456, and it's a vertical video, and my computer's just like, what? It says it's a file, it says it's a... It doesn't recognize what file it is, and it just crashes out, and then it doesn't read my phone anymore, so I have to restart the computer. And unfortunately, like, to the human eye, like, you can't see what's what until you actually dig in, like, hover over every single file and see, okay, this is a photo, this is a video, because it doesn't, like, do the whole, like, the film reel thing on the side of the... It's awful. Anyway, in the process of trying to transfer photos off of my phone onto my computer, I watched a review on my new webcam, the Logitech Brio. And one of the issues the reviewer had was that he felt that the auto exposure was too much. It like really messed up the picture, and the camera looks a lot better without auto exposure on. But the problem is you need a lot of light to make the picture work perfectly. And I was like, wait, I have not even seen that setting, and I see auto exposure's on, so I turn it off, and on one hand, the picture looks way better. I can see, like, oh, there's, like, a graininess to my video that has just disappeared. The problem is, it also, like, needs a ton of light to work properly, and my room is, like, pitch black, even though I've got the studio lights here. And so now I realize, like, oh, I'm gonna need new lights to figure this out. But at the very least, I know I can go another level in image quality. It's just about buying the right lights. Yeah, the problem with the lights I have now is that the color temperature is very white. And if I point them right at my face, my face just gets completely washed out. So I need lights that will keep the color temperature a little more appropriate. Also, that my studio lights are like way too big. They are hand-me-down lights from my cousin who used them for photography, and they don't fit in my streaming setup at all. So that's something I'm gonna have to address in the future. So yeah, that's why that was like my entire morning yesterday. Didn't play any Pokemon. It was just troubleshooting multiple devices, and then this morning was troubleshooting streaming stuff. But here we are, playing some Tetris, trying to get some wins in Invictus mode. We've gotten top 10 so far, that's good. We're almost top 20 here. Somehow in my rambling and not paying attention to Tetris, we got this far. Okay. There. Throw that down there. There. Oh, no! That was a mistake. Like a big mistake. Because now... Alright. I know we created a dependency on that side, but we got the piece. There we go. Alright. Everything's coming up, Jet. And Ian, I saw your message. I will respond to that shortly. Let's try and settle down here. There we go. We're laughing. Woo! Yeah, that was looking pretty rough a second ago, but... I guess my concern here is, like, nobody's dropping. Okay, there. One person dropped. Can we hang on to top 10? 13? Hey, top 10. There we go. Alright. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Alright, I'm a little concerned right now. The junk blocks are warping in faster than I can clear them out, and it's because we don't have any badges. We have not knocked anybody out, which is really bad, because then we're not going to have enough time to clear out these blocks. No. Top 6? Close. Close. Ian says, streaming is like a video game where you keep grinding battles so you can progressively buy better weapons so that you can grind battles slightly easier. Yep. Yep. Oh man, that grind of streaming stuff, and Again, yeah, not even thinking about it. Like, I've spent so much money on this setup. And it would have been possible. Like, the big thing which turned the tides for me was I got a hand-me-down computer from work, and it was a couple years old, but it was a dev machine. So it had pretty high specs for the time. Not necessarily for video production like I'm doing now, but it was a more advanced computer. So by the time I got it, it was like just okay. And it wasn't quite good enough. I think it took a lot of learning on my part to figure out, like, oh, the drive that's in here is too slow to record the stream properly, and it's gonna fail after an hour. I have to go buy an SSD to fix that. And there are no guides in the internet to talk about that specific problem. So that's one of the ones that took me months to sort out. So yeah, if you're building a streaming machine, I highly recommend getting an SSD, solid state drive. The light thing is weird. Like, man, I didn't even know about the exposure thing. And I've been streaming for years and had my lights set up wrong this whole time. But it's good to know that stuff now. I understand where the holes are in my setup, and I can make it better. And there's definitely a lot of things in streaming that you don't need money to fix or improve, or at least not a lot. Lighting is a big one, where you can just buy random lamps and light fixtures at like Home Depot for pretty cheap, and just use those. Damn it, I know this looks really wacky. I did it for that. That was a really dumb idea. Okay. When trying to T-spin goes wrong. Yeah, there are definitely some hacks. Like, if you want to save money on streaming, there are things you can do to make your stuff work better without spending as much money. What sort of DIY? Yeah, for example, there's a strip of lights running across the top of my desk, which is the primary way I light my face. And that is a strip of LED lights that I bought on clearance at Home Depot for like $10. And then I used a dollar store, a 99-cent store plastic picnic tablecloth, just covering over the top just to diffuse the light some. The Elgato Stream Deck is great, but you can make your own if you really want to go through the effort of printing out your own labels. You can buy just a super cheap numerical pad and then map all the functions that way, and then like cut and paste your own labels and all of that type of stuff. I personally prefer the Stream Deck, and having screens on the buttons that you can change immediately without having to like print out labels and cut them out and each time you change functions. But if you want to just have that function happen in like $10, you can do that. Camera-wise, I still highly recommend the Logitech C920. It's the camera I was using up until recently. It's a fairly cheap camera that looks pretty good, all things considered, and if you throw on the right color correction on it, you can go you can go a long way. And then microphone-wise, like, I'm still using a Blue Snowball, which is very much an entry-level mic. I think you can get one for what, like $30-40 US? And it, with the right tweaks in your streaming software to account for, like, with noise gates, noise filters, compression, you can get a decent sound out of it. You can get what I have right now, which is a lot better than what I had before. Alright. This got really bad really fast. Not sure if we're gonna make it out of this one. We will try. I might regret that. I know, I know. Ah, that one's definitely going to... Ah, come on! Come on! Now we're done. We're done. Other, like, streaming hacks. Try to think. And here, if you want some behind the scenes, spill the tea. Like, how my lights are hooked up right now. Because I got hand-me-down studio lights from my sister-in-law. And she didn't use them anymore because one of the clips broke that attaches to a stand. And there's no way to just fix the clip. You have to buy, like, a whole new light fixture on it. And so, like, it's not worth it for her to just, like... She has to buy a whole new light just to fix the clip. So she just gave them to me, and she bought other lights instead. Which is great, so I get lighting in this room. The problem is I can't mount it to stands, which is now a real problem when I need them lighting my face. So right now it's in the room, the exposure... It's lighting the ceiling, and the exposure is really high on this camera. But the way I stand them up is this. I can't believe I'm actually going to show this on stream. Tilting my screen. Tilting my screen. Yep, you see those U-Haul boxes right there? Those are holding up my lights right now. Here we go. If I turn this off. Oh, yeah. See, now the exposure is acting all crazy trying to compensate. Streamer hacks. Oh, you can still see the box. Ah, I gotta tilt that just a little more. A little more. Okay, a little too much. Alright. There we go. And we're back. Switch the camera over here. I have a bunch of weird cables and... Ian says, I just noticed the Christmas hats on the Fire Emblem cast. Yes! Okay, we'll talk about the background after. After Halloween, my wife asked, like, hey, can I decorate your space? And I said, sure. So I said, go nuts, do whatever you like, and she did some stuff. So we'll talk through it afterwards. But yeah, we're gonna keep that up till the new year. What other sort of stream hacks are there? You don't have to buy or get a designer to do overlays. I don't necessarily have the fanciest overlay. I did it myself, but I'm also a control freak, and I've been manipulating a bunch of stuff for a while now. Like, I tweak things constantly, so I have been uncomfortable with getting a designer to do some stuff. I would need a very modular design. But I also have, like, bigger ideas with, like, branding and how do I want to switch that up. So I've got what I got right now, but you can use software like Streamlabs OBS, which is free, and it's got a bunch of templates already built in, and you just have to drop it in and go. So if you want something that looks a little more professional right away, you can just drop that in and start. Like, if you watch... I know you watch the Double Jump streams when they stream. Shout out to Chris and Rachel. They were using Streamlabs for... I know they still use Streamlabs to stream. But they were using a Streamlabs template for a long time until they switched to their own design. Yeah, I think right now on my Christmas wish list, it's a lot of streaming related things. I would like to get better lights, ideally LED panels to light my face so that I can, like, mount them toward closer to my desk and light my face properly. I would like to get some colored lights for the back. possibly smart lights so that you guys on stream can control what colors are showing. That would be a lot of fun. I want an Elgato Game Capture HD60S. That is something I think that's going to be... Well, I think the lighting, in fact, in light of what I've discovered about my stream, the lighting is probably going to jump to the top, but I want to get an HD60S so we can stream in 60 frames a second. That is the next goal for me here. Squeeze out a little more quality out of the stream. Still 720p, but 60 frames a second I think is going to help a lot. Make things look a little smoother, and in retro games, when like Mega Man gets hit and he blinks on stream, it just looks like he disappears. And that's because the game is capturing, or my capture card is working at 30 frames instead of 60. It's weird, when I bought this game capture, the Elgato Game Capture, it caps out at 1080 30. 1080 30. But on the box, I think it says it does 720p 60, and I've almost never gotten it to work at 720p 60. It always just like is stuck at 720p 30. Oh no, that was a terrible move. We can still fix it, but there we go. And so yeah, I've just been stuck at 30 for a very long time, and I would like to get to 60. Alright, T-spin. Whew. Or, of course, you could stream directly off your console. That's probably the cheapest, at least for console gamers, the cheapest streaming hack is use the software on your PS4, on your Xbox One, and stream off that. I will say, if you have an Xbox, the streaming solutions you have are a lot better. There is a service called Lightstream, which is just a browser app, and you can actually add overlays and webcams and notifications to your console stream without a computer. And if you are an Xbox streamer and you don't have like the horsepower, a computer that's like able to run OBS and that stuff, absolutely do that. I think all Xbox streamers should be using that live stream. I think you have to stream to Mixer though, so that might be a problem. Although you might be getting ahead on the Mixer revolution with the way that they're scooping up all these streamers. And speaking of, we did have another streaming free agent jump off of Twitch, Disguised Toast, who is a streamer for, I think, Offline TV, like Pokemon's group. He is leaving. He's leaving Twitch for Facebook, which is a very interesting move. I'm sure he got a nice paycheck to go along with that move, and I think his quote was, he chose Facebook because of the potential for explosive growth. And I get that. I absolutely get that. There are so many people on Facebook, and they do live streaming stuff, and it's a really untapped market. And being able to pop live streams into people's news feeds is a really interesting proposition that I explored back in the day, but I personally don't look back on my time streaming on Facebook fondly. Nevertheless, congratulations to Disguised Toast for securing the bag and hopefully pushing your streaming career forward. Top 10. It's pretty good. Alright, let me just check some stuff here on the side. Okay. And while this is queuing up, shoutouts to everyone hosting the channel today. Shoutouts to J606, shoutouts to Too Tall For You Fool, shoutouts to Double Jump, shoutouts to literally Tony, and shoutouts to Player 2 Start. Thank you all for supporting the stream today. And for everyone watching me on their channels, hello! I'm Jeff from InThirdPerson.com, person look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits, playing some Tetris 99. We've had some pretty solid runs, multiple top 10 finishes, we just can't close it out. We are playing with the Pokemon theme, but I will say, I'm not a fan of this particular theme in Tetris 99. I like the music. I think the music is very... I mean, it's directly from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like, this is the main battle theme, and I enjoy this a lot. But I think that the background is really lazy. Like, you can see the pixelation. Like, it's basically just a screenshot from the game. It's not original art, or even reworked art, like the other ones have been. So you just took a screenshot and then, like, dumped in a bunch of sprites for different Pokemon in each box. So yeah, I find this background to be quite possibly the laziest one in the game. Yeah, let's mix up the backgrounds after this. I've got all of them unlocked. We should try one of the ones that... Yeah, we haven't streamed yet. Let's pick one of those. Alright, T-spins. Bang. So, Ian, do you plan on doing... Oh, actually, yes, I should ask this. You've got Thanksgiving coming up today, or not today, this week, right? And if so, what... I mean, I guess whether or not it's this week. What are your plans for Thanksgiving? Yeah, that always trips me up. Canadian Thanksgiving happened like a month ago. But for our friends in south of the border, it's time for some turkey, time for some football. Like, I know the Detroit Lions play football every year at that point. I know they play other times as well, but that is the big game for the Detroit Lions. For whatever that is worth. Okay. Oh, wow. Are we going to see an early exit here? Well, 36th, I guess, is not early, but... it's on Thursday. Okay. On Thursday. I will read that in a bit. I think the one thing that I am so jealous of with American Thanksgiving, and I don't know how prevalent it is in the US either, I just see this as a US thing. Deep fried turkey. I want to try deep fried turkey so bad, but like, it's not a thing here. No one makes it. Restaurants don't serve it. We don't have the infrastructure here to deep fry a bird that big here north of the border, apparently. I've heard you can buy all the stuff in Canada, just nobody does it. But it sounds so delicious, and one of these days, my in-laws have a very big backyard, They have the space to do it. Though my mother-in-law, like, frowns upon the idea. She just thinks it's, she thinks it's weird. Also, streamer problems right now. My left leg has gone completely numb. And I need to get up. Oh, man. Oh, come on. Roll over. There it is. Top 17? Alright. Ah, that's not what we wanted. Okay, fine. I'll deal with that. Throw that there. There. And Ian says something about not having tried deep-fried turkey. I will follow up shortly. Let's, I'm having a pretty good run here. Squeeze in a teaspoon for good measure. There. Okay. Ah, no, no! Oh, no! Of course, I say, like, hey, this is all going great, and then, bam! Just hit myself with the absolute worst possible mistake. That's that Tetris 99 life right there. Alright. There. 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 Here. Okay. We have... Alright, I'm gonna burn the line piece right there just to... Uh-oh. That's a big problem. And now we're dead. Ah, just outside top 10. Ugh. Alright, let me catch up with Ian's messages here. It's on Thursday. We have Thanksgiving with my in-laws on Thursday. And then with my families on Friday and Saturday. I'm not sure yet which one is with my mom's family and which one is with my dad's family. Okay, that's a lot of turkey for you. Ian also says, I actually have not had deep-fried turkey, although the infrastructure is certainly here. Haha, my state deep fries everything. I'm gonna have to come by sometime and definitely enjoy some of the deep-fried turkey. And Sobaseb, how many wins do I have? Like today or generally, like today or like lifetime in Invictus? Ugh. Also, welcome. How are you doing today? Today, 0 in Invictus. In like lifetime, we've won about a dozen times out of like 200 or so matches. Invictus is very hard. Regular Tetris 99, we've won close. Last time we checked, it was like over 70. If I stuck with, like, I switched over to Invictus pretty much exclusively after Invictus modes popped out. I probably would have won more if I just stayed with regular Tetris 99, but I prefer the challenge of Invictus. Yeah, thanks for dropping by. How you doing today? And we were just talking about deep-fried turkey with U.S. Thanksgiving coming up. Have you had a chance to experience the delicacy that is deep-fried turkey? Whew. Oh, I meant to change the background. I don't want to play Pokemon anymore. Alright, next one. We will swap it out. Also, hold up. Sorry, noticing an issue with my dashboard here. Alright, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. So yes, yeah, sounds like triple the turkey. That's pretty good. Is it normal for those in the U.S. to do multiple Thanksgivings? Like, yeah, the Thursday is my mom's side, Friday's my dad's side, or whatever the split might be. In Canada, because I was wondering if that was a thing in the States, just because unlike in Canada, the U.S. just has like a very defined Thursday is Thanksgiving. Canada, it's like, it's Thanksgiving weekend. Go eat turkey at one of these points. Nevertheless, Thanksgiving is a delicious time of the year. I love me some turkey. I love stuffing. I love the mashed potatoes. I don't know what other delicacies you happen to have at your Thanksgiving. Ham? You guys do ham? I like ham. We've had that. In recent years, I have discovered that Brussels sprouts can be delicious. Although the place that opened my eyes to Brussels sprouts makes them pretty differently from everywhere else. There's a... Ian says, it's normal for me, but my parents haven't been together since I was born, so I always had 2 of every holiday. Hard to say if that's the norm generally. Ah, okay. Ah, come on, I wanted to go the other side. Here. We'll just do that for now. Clean that up. Oh, I want that there. Oh, no, no. Alright. There we go. Hey, knock someone out. What are some of your other favorite Thanksgiving meals? Oh, yes, we were talking about, Brussels sprouts, and for a long time, I have been anti-Brussels sprouts. I can be very stubborn and picky with my food, and I've always heard that Brussels sprouts have a reputation of not tasting good. But there is this chicken place here in the city called Union Chicken, and they have Brussels sprouts on the menu, and we tried them once, and man, they are so good. They're amazing. But they are also cooked in such a way, they have this like sauce that they use on them, and they are grilled. They're like almost charred. They are incredibly grilled to the point where like almost whatever natural flavor is in Brussels sprouts is almost completely gone, but they taste so good. And that was the thing that got me to... I know that was a really bad drop. Sorry, guys. That was the thing that put me on Team Brussels sprouts. Clean that up here. Top 50. We're not in a great place, though. TBH. We're not going to get a chance to fix this, are we? Yeah, we're done. That's okay. That's okay. What else is there? And I know everybody's tables are going to be a little different. When Thanksgiving with my family, it's there's some Filipino food there for sure. Steph's family is mostly like traditional Thanksgiving things. Yeah, the stuffing, the Brussels sprouts, I don't know if that is the cranberry sauce. That took me a while to warm up to as well. Nevertheless, delicious meal. I messed up. I'm sorry. I meant to change the background. Dun, 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 dun. Luigi's Mansion, Kirby. Oh, Fire Emblem. Yeah, let's get this crew back out. Oh yeah, I was supposed to show you the background. Walk you through like some of the changes that have happened here. So this is the holiday edition of the room. And let's start with this side over here. So it's our big 3-piece Fire Emblem art. I apologize for the glare. Here, let me turn off my light. So you can kind of see Claude's beautiful face. And my wife has put Christmas hats on them. That's a really nice touch. Just below them, there's like a garland. I don't know. Is that mistletoe? I don't think that's mistletoe. It is a Christmas garland of some sort. And there's a comic book cover of Magneto with a mouse. And so it's an issue of Magneto #1. Oh, sorry, the camera lagged there. Magneto #1. It's a variant cover with Magneto using his magnetic powers to bend a mousetrap to get the cheese. And Steph says she picked that one for the whole reference of not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. So there we go. We've got we got a nice bow in the middle. Oh, what's it called? I'm gonna have to tilt the camera just a little bit here. There's Neo Cortex from the Crash Bandicoot series who's wearing a Christmas hat, but unfortunately the camera's cut a little too low, so let me adjust that here really quick. Let's tilt the camera up just a bit so you can see it. There you go. There we go. So yeah, Neo Cortex on the right there, and then my Christmas edition Pikachu in the middle. That one is a Pokemon Center exclusive from Japan that my brother got me while he was in Japan. Randy actually just came back from Korea. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet, but he's there. We got a Yoshi. We've got some Christmas ornaments there as well, and some snowflake ornaments around my Street Fighter. Oh no! Hold on. Some of them fell off. I'll be back. Ugh. Let me try and fix that. Alright, we good. Back at it. Let me get settled back in here. Hey, Claude, it's been a while. Yep. Ian, has your son started his Christmas wish list? And if so, what is he looking to get this holiday season? I don't really remember what I've gotten for Christmas until... I think the first thing I can... I don't know if they were the same year. I remember one year asking for... There was this toy line called Spy... I think it was Spy Tech? And it was this, like, espionage-themed toys to make you, like, more of a spy. And one of the things I wanted was this pair of sunglasses that had mirrors on the sides so that looking at your peripheral vision, you could look behind you. And I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. And I remember getting those for Christmas. That's one of the first... Maybe the first Christmas present I ever remember receiving. And I know they had like a mini camera as well. Oh no. And I also remember really wanting the Bucky O'Hare action figure. I don't know if you guys remember that show from the early 90s. It's like imagine Star Fox where the main character is a rabbit instead. Basically that. I don't see people chomping at the bit to bring back Bucky O'Hare. But man, that was a cool show back in the day. The main thing he asked for is a tablet, like a Kindle or something. The problem is he's still pretty destructive, so we really don't want him to have one until he learns to take better care of his stuff. Yeah, I mean, they do have cheaper options, but that's not the point. And yeah, tablets are... Especially if he's looking for, like, not a kid-specific one. Then, yeah, those can break. I remember hearing... I was listening to the Bill Simmons podcast, and he had a guest on. I think it was Cousin Sal. In any case, one of his guests was talking about how he has a young child, like 3-4 years old, who has a tablet. And he is also pretty destructive with his stuff. And one day he noticed, like, his kid was using the tablet, and he thought his son had ketchup on his hands while using the tablet. Nope. Turns out he'd smashed it. He had a tendency of, like, throwing his tablet and being destructive with it. He'd smashed it to the point where the glass on the front had broken, and he was still using it and had actually cut his fingers on the glass on the tablet. Now, I don't know how long it took me to grow into, like, okay, I have to take care of this stuff. And Ian says, yeah, that's exactly what I want to not happen. Yep, I hear you. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Ooh, I've got a story. This is a gaming-related one about me being destructive. I think I've shared this on stream before, but it's totally fitting for the context of the conversation right now. My first memory of beating a level in any video game ever, it was Air Fortress. Little known game made by Hal, who then went on to make Smash Brothers like years later. Yeah, you know that dev. I don't know if Sakurai was on the team at the time. Maybe he was, actually. What's it called? It was this game that my cousin had. I borrowed his Nintendo, and... Okay, let me rewind here, now that we lost. I was about 3 or 4 years old at the time, and my cousin had an NES and this game called Air Fortress. And I remember playing it, and like I borrowed it, and I was playing it, and I beat the first level, and it was the first time I'd beaten anything in a video game all by myself. And I remember being so excited about it, I got up, and I ran around the living room. And as I was running back and forth, bang, kicked the Nintendo, broke it, did not work anymore. And so I broke my cousin's NES after beating that first level, and then he just didn't have a Nintendo anymore. And I'm really sorry, Ellis, that I broke your NES, and I understand that that might be a reason why you're not really into video games anymore, because I broke your NES and you didn't have anything to play for during those formative years, but yeah, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So yeah, I can totally relate to kids being destructive. I wonder if that NES incident, like, I've never forgotten it. That might have been the tipping point for me of like, oh, I should probably take a little better care of my stuff. No, I did lose someone else's NES game. I remember borrowing Bomberman from my uncle and losing that game. So yeah, okay, breaking the Nintendo wasn't the tipping point. Losing Bomberman, probably still not the tipping point, but I definitely was not overly careful of my stuff at 3, even 6 years old. I was not as careful with my stuff as I should have been. Let's try and set up a T-spin thing over here. Although, yeah, let's bank that. No, we're gonna use it here. This is gonna create more problems than if I don't. Yeah, I wonder, like, how... I wonder, is the... How do you teach kids to be, like, more careful with their stuff? I feel like they're not gonna learn until they actually break something that's really important to them. I could be wrong, but I think it's one of those things of, like, hey, you're not gonna learn about, like, not playing with fire until you get burned sort of situation. Yeah, I think the first time I ever got burned was... I touched an iron while it was on, and that was really hot, and that burned, and at that point I was like, okay, I get it, don't do this thing. I'm gonna need a tuck over there. There we go. Woo! Terrible drop. Terrible. And Ian says, I was playing with a paper butterfly I made in Sunday school or something, and ended up flying over a candle. Ooh. Yeah, that's definitely one way to learn about fire. I'm guessing your son is at the point where he can tell the difference between a standard tablet and one specifically made for kids. I find it that whole market is interesting. The idea that, like, making kids... On one hand, making kids tablets makes total sense for, like, the exact reasons you specified. You can control... They're usually made more durable, and they have more kid-appropriate software. But I find that kids can sniff out the difference between, like, an actual tablet with all the stuff versus one specifically made for kids. And they usually don't want the one specifically made for kids. Ooh, there's some other stuff we should talk about soon with the COPPA laws, and I'm not sure if you've been keeping up, Ian, with what's happening on YouTube and how it could potentially change content creation forever on the platform in a number of ways, some of which are good and a lot of which are bad. And I'm not the most well-versed on the subject, but I've been trying to read up. Trying to get informed as best I can. Of course, I'm alluding to the COPPA or COPPA laws that are now being enforced on YouTube, and it's going to change a lot of things. I hope it doesn't change my stuff, but I have to be cognizant of it as well. And Ian says, I don't know that he necessarily knows the difference. Okay, we'll get to that. Almost top 10, though. There. Top 10. All right. We're in pretty decent shape here. Of course, as soon as I say that, then we get hit with something like that, and then now the picture is different. Let's try to make the best of this. There. Nice. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Here. Okay, 2 KOs. Still, we need... Ah, that's not what I want. Oh, no. This has gone sideways very quickly on us. And we're toast. Ah, top 10. Top 10. Alright, let's see this message from me in here. I've seen... I don't know that he would necessarily know the difference. He might, though. He knows the difference between kid YouTube and regular YouTube. Getting him to stay on kid YouTube has been a pain recently, so we've had to be way more careful about his screen time. Yep. There it is. And Ian says, I've seen so many conflicting takes on COPPA. I've seen some people hailing it as the YouTube apocalypse, and others saying that it's actually not a big deal, and people should stop panicking. Hard to say which takes are accurate. And Shadow and Ribbon says, can I try to stream snipe you in normal lobbies? Stream snipe me in an Invictus lobby. Bring it. Because I don't have Invictus unlocked. Fine. Fine. I will try. We will come back down. I'm going to do this one time. I don't like playing regular Tetris 99, but sure, Shadow and Ribbons. We'll try it one time. So let me get the countdown going here in the chat. And we'll talk about COPPA in a sec. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh man, my camera's gone crazy blurry. Let's see if we can get the focus back. There we go. Alright, we good. Yes, so same lobby. Cool. Good luck. How you doing today, Shadow and Ribbon? We're just talking about the YouTube COPPA laws and how they could impact the way that content is distributed and made on YouTube. And the whole thing is... not Nintendo. I'm not the most well-versed. For the last few days, I've been trying to do some research. Read some links. I've read the COPPA page, and the FTC put out an update trying to clarify a couple of the concerns people have with regards to how the law is going to be implemented. And yeah, so the whole thing is YouTube kind of broke the law. Well, they broke the law really bad in terms of collecting data on minors and serving targeted ads to minors. And that was kind of YouTube's fault. Like, YouTube is a 13 and up service. You have to have that in order to set up an account. But then also in their own sales material, they talked about how YouTube is the go-to place for kids ages 6 to 11 and like all sorts of other stuff they were saying about marketing to kids when they really shouldn't have. And so they get hit, they lose a lawsuit, they have to pay a $170 million fine. Massive fine. And now they've put some infrastructure in place to try and minimize that from happening. And part of that comes down to trying to identify right off the bat what is a kid's video. And so yeah, if you've made something specifically for kids, you can flag it as for kids and you would be safe from the law. But there are some big disadvantages to flagging your video as being kids content. You don't get comments on your video, you don't get served up in search results, there's no targeted advertising, so you're going to lose about upwards of 90% of your potential revenue than what you would have made with targeted ads. It's pretty much a death sentence. Like, if you flag your video for kids, no one's going to see it. You're not going to make any money on it. There's almost no point to making kids videos on YouTube anymore. The trade-off is, like, if you make a video that you flag as not for kids, and the FTC says, hey, you lied, this is actually for kids, they can fine you upwards of $42,000 per infraction. $42,000 per video. And the challenge here is that it's pretty murky in terms of what counts as targeting towards kids. Like, the law was written in 1998 using language like cool and duh and games could make you flag you as kids content. Using characters popular with kids could flag you as kids content. So playing Pokemon, for example, could possibly put you in the category of making kids content and could give you a fine or earn you a fine. And it has a lot of creators scared, and it's gonna wipe out like certain, like almost entire communities are going to either be scared or like actually pay the consequences and then not want to do it anymore. Oh man, 24th. That's not a good run. Congratulations, Shadow and Ribbon, if you got higher than that. Disappointing run on my part. I should have gotten higher. Good stuff. GG. All right, you can tell me where you at. I'm gonna go back to Invictus. Stay alive. Go get first. Unlock Invictus, and then meet me over here, man. So yeah, for those just tuning in, I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com, personal look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. And we were just speaking about COPPA and YouTube's already put up a system where if they think your video is something that should be flagged as for kids, they will flag it as for kids. And I've gone through the process. I've went through all my stuff, and none of my stuff has been flagged for kids. But that's not to say that the FTC wouldn't say that my stuff is for kids. So even if you flag your stuff as not for kids and YouTube doesn't flag it and says, oh, it's not for kids, that doesn't stop the FTC from saying, oh, your videos are actually for kids. And therefore, you're going to get fined upwards of $42,000 a video. And so it's really scary times. And I don't blame creators for panicking and freaking out, especially in sort of the gray areas. Like if you're in the animation community, if you're an adult making animations, that can be a problem. Though they do speak about that specifically in the update I saw, where they said specifically, we recognize that there are animations that might look kiddie but aren't actually for kids. So that could be, that might be a potential, like, good thing of the FTC having a bit more context in when they judge these types of things, and maybe they don't wipe out, like, Roblox players, for example. I know that's going to be, like, a definite gray area. That game is so much targeted towards kids, but, like, I know there are people who aren't kids that play that, too. So we will see. You placed 7th. Ah, close. Well, GG. And you beat me, so for whatever that's worth, you did it. Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to wait and see on the COPPA stuff. I don't want to get hit with a massive fine. I don't think, like, based on what I'm seeing so far, I don't think by virtue of me playing Pokemon, I would be in trouble, but we will see. I think if you, like, make Lego videos, that's going to be a challenge. If you do Roblox, that's going to be a challenge. If you do animation, You're gonna put yourself sort of in that gray area. And I hope for the best. I do have concerns that it's going to pretty much wipe kids' content off of YouTube and wipe a lot of the gray area, or the family-friendly stuff off of YouTube, because it's not worth it. It won't be worth it in the system with these rules, because I would rather not eat a $42,000 fine for making a video that's, you know, family-friendly, but the FTC thinks, oh, this is supposed to be for kids, and they hit me with that fine. And I don't like the idea of, like, me throwing in a string of swear words at the beginning of the video in order to, like, be classified, like, just to make sure that my video was more mature. Like, it's not great. I mean, we have to protect the kids, and you can't be, like, exploiting kids and marketing to them in ways that take advantage of the fact that they're young and are susceptible to advertising in that way. But it's definitely going to have ramifications on the platform as a whole that are going to lead to content reaching a smaller audience. Oh man, we're about to get stomped out here. Done. Damn. I was gonna say something else related to COPPA, I think. Yeah, I think for certain creators, absolutely. Be concerned and make preparations. But one of the things I've been reading a lot about with regards to, as I've been doing like research and trying to establish the stream and make things better, and one of the pieces of advice I keep reading is like, don't be dependent on the platform. Whatever platform it is. You want to make stuff that, like, work on as many platforms as you can and try and make something that's platform agnostic, something that you own, something that can't be taken away because YouTube changed the algorithm, or YouTube changed the way that they prioritize views in the search results, or maybe Twitch makes some changes and now whatever you were doing on Twitch no longer works. Find a way of creating a business that's not going to fall apart when one of those platforms changes something that doesn't work in your favor. Because odds are they will change things that aren't in your favor. That's weird. Yeah, so like in this particular instance, family-friendly creators are going to get hit really hard. There are going to be like family vlogs who've made their whole business around this, and you're not necessarily making those videos for kids, but hey, you've got your kids in it. Now that might get flagged as a kids video. Now what are you going to do? And unfortunately, yeah, there's a lot of fear and going around, and there's nothing... I mean, you gotta be prepared as best you can, but we're ultimately not gonna know how bad it's gonna be until they start officially enforcing the stuff in January and rolling out fines. I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the one who gets made an example of. Though I think my channel on YouTube is probably too small, but who knows? Who knows? Ian, what are some of the things you've heard about with COPPA that you're like, just that you've heard? Good, bad, whatever. Alright. Alright, top 40. I don't think that's... yeah. Woo! Bring it down. Ooh, Ian with the big message. I will read that shortly. Yeah, hold that L. Ian says, one thing I saw going around was someone saying that realistically, individual creators probably aren't going to be hit with the fines. Like, if YouTube ends up owing $42,000 because they messed up the data collection stuff with COPPA, that fine wouldn't pass down to the creators. Not sure how true that is, since it's pretty much everyone else I have seen talking about it seems to think the opposite is true. Ah, so I actually saw a link someone sent me. Let me see. Is your content directed to children? Let me pull up this link here. Because I think I saw that, yes, the individual content creator can be fined for this. Oh, man, hold up. Let me adjust my screen here, and let me find the piece in this. Here, let me pull up a browser. Browser. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh god. Give me a second here. I need... oh, window capture, that's it. Nope, not that. Window, and we're gonna go Chrome. Here we go. Alright. Oh man, this is like way too big. And you're not gonna be able to see my face. I know we're creating like a fantastic stream here. Let's crop this. This is from COPPA. I don't know how well you can read that on the screen. Let me know. Here, we'll cover my face. Uh-oh, that's gonna break it. Yep, okay. Let's go through this together. So one of the things here, how does COPPA apply to channel owners? This is one. This section here. So how does COPPA apply to channel So how does COPPA apply to channel owners who upload their content on YouTube or another third-party platform? COPPA applies in the same way it would if the channel owner had its own website or app. If a channel owner uploads content on a platform like YouTube, the channel might meet the definition of a website or online service covered by COPPA, depending on the nature of the content and the information collected. If the content is directed to children, and if the channel owner or someone on its behalf, for example, an ad network, collects personal information from viewers of that content, for example, through a persistent identifier that tracks a user to serve internet-based ads, the channel is covered by COPPA. Once COPPA applies, the operator must provide notice, obtain verifiable parental consent, and meet COPPA's other requirements. For information on how to comply with COPPA, please visit the FTC's COPPA page or 6-step compliance plan for your business. The penalties. The rule allows for civil penalties of up to $42,530 per violation. but the FTC considers a number of factors in determining the appropriate amount, including a company's financial condition and the impact a penalty could have on its ability to stay in business. While Google and YouTube paid $170 million, in another COPPA case settled this year, the operator paid a total civil penalty of $35,000. Where channel owners can get more information. I don't know if they say it outright, but they kind of imply like you could get in trouble here too. Yeah, it does say, like, at the very least, it does say you, just because you are a user, like, you are still under COPPA. So yeah, I will say, at the very least, make sure to read up as much as you can. I don't want you to lose your channels and lose your homes and all that stuff because you made videos that violated that law, even if they are, like, I don't know, family vlogs or what have you. Scary times. I would, at the very least, make sure to pay attention. We'll see what happens and see who they go after. I think it's gonna be, at the very least, it'll be the big ones first. Like, if I don't want to name names. I don't want to name names. Though I think there are some very big creators whose stuff is primarily towards kids that is probably gonna get hit really bad. Alright, can we get our first win today in Tetris 9? It's been rough. We've gotten like a number of top 10 finishes, but we haven't quite been able to jump over the hump. Yeah, I think the thing is, I would not just stick to the thinking of, like, if I upload a video and I break COPPA law, that YouTube is going to be the one to pay the fine and not me. Definitely wouldn't. At least to start, I would not rely on that information as being true. And it's gonna be, yeah, interesting to see how that changes. Like, YouTube Kids, like, I don't know if anyone's gonna... I know they've been trying to funnel kids to YouTube Kids, but if no one's making the content there because it's not worth their while anymore, like, why would creators go there to make stuff? No, it's an interesting, like, phenomenon. I think this ongoing thing, I keep referencing this in day-to-day discussions. The idea that technology evolves faster than the people that are using it. And we make all this cool stuff, but then we don't know how to govern it, we don't know how to use it, we abuse it, we do bad things to the world with it, and just, like, all across the board. There are so many examples of ways in which we made something cool and don't know how to govern it or manage it, and there's just a whole bunch of unforeseen consequences from this technology that, in theory, is supposed to make the world better, and other stuff happens that we did not expect, and things get weird. I think one of the easiest ones, or, like, off the top of my head, just the idea of Napster and this way of sharing files very quickly, peer-to-peer, and that, like, completely upended the music industry. Yeah, we're dead here. we made this cool way of sharing files with each other, but then we were illegally sharing music like crazy. And the record labels tried to step in and say, hey, you can't do that, that's illegal. But users were like, why would I go and buy your record for $15 at the store when I can go download it for free? This is so much easier. And then just burn the CD, and then like, it's such cool technology, and it's clearly a better way to go, but the music industry wasn't ready to adapt. Arguably still not. We have streaming services now, and there's a lot of complaints about how much artists get paid on that, but I don't know. That's one of those things. Social media has been really weird in like how the way, like, it's this amazing idea of like how you can connect with friends or meet new people, but then just the ways that people use that technology negatively to bully each other, to harass other people. Yeah, just a lot of unforeseen consequences that come with the technology that we make and how we govern it and who gets to say what on the internet. Like, it's a whole thing. And Ian says, oh yeah, the ethical ramifications of technology is vastly outpaced by how often technology improves. But I think as long as the goal is to make money rather than to benefit society, we'll keep having that problem. I hear you. One of the things with automated cars, I know there's been a big push to just have computers drive cars, and we're getting pretty close. Like, there are technologies which like can course correct your car if you're drifting too far into different lanes, and like there are straight up automatic driving cars out there, or self-driving cars out there now. And I think like a year or so ago we had the first fatality. Like, someone got hit by a car that didn't have a driver, or like was being driven by a computer, and like who eats the liability on that? There's all sorts of questions that come with these technologies and how we integrate them into our society and deal with things like that. Didn't one of those just hit a dude because the AI didn't understand the concept of jaywalking? Potentially, yeah. I'm gonna have to look at that. But yeah, those are a bunch of the things that just, like, the technology works, but then only going so far, and how do you integrate that with people? That's crazy. I've heard the toughest thing, I think Elon Musk said it somewhere, or someone very smart said somewhere, one of the toughest challenges for self-driving vehicles right now is shopping malls, and in particular the parking lot of the shopping mall, because, like, I guess the map would read that as an open space, but then there's so many cars in confined spaces, and there aren't necessarily clearly defined routes of where you're supposed to go. Yeah, the ethical ramifications of technology are crazy. And yeah, YouTube, and the fact that, hey, you can put a lot of kids content on there, but oh, you're also you have to be 13 and up to sign up for an account, but that doesn't stop kids from watching YouTube. It will never stop kids from watching YouTube. So how do you stop that? And I don't know, necessarily agree that they've got the right solution here with the COPPA stuff, but we'll see. What is the far-flung future idea that you're excited to see in real life? Is it I was talking about this with coworkers the other day about just technology and sort of similar things. I think one of my coworkers really wanted to see teleportation happen, and I think I think mankind has that. Like, at a, like, particle level, we can teleport particles from one place to the next. But nothing bigger than that at this point. Like, do you want to see teleportation? Do you want to see the flying cars? The commercial flights to space? If you're interested in going to space, I saw that tickets are on sale now. It's 90-minute flight for $250,000. Ian says, ah, dang it, my headphones desynced. I'll be back. Okay. But yeah, for those just tuning in, I'm Jeff from inthirdperson.com. Person look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. We're playing Tetris 99 on the Nintendo Switch. And trying to get our first Invictus win today. Oh man, that was a terrible drop. Okay, at least we fixed that. Yeah, the automated cars have always freaked me out. Just as a concept. The idea that you have no control over the vehicle. I think the thing that's always freaked me out, even as a kid, long before we got to this point, the idea that your car could get hacked and drive you off a cliff. That's always the example I use. And I don't like that. But I think, like, before... In my lifetime, I think I'm going to see the point where people just aren't driving cars anymore. That's going to be something that... Yeah, I think automated cars are going to happen in my lifetime, where that's just the standard. And that's weird to think about. Aliens. What do you guys think of aliens? Do you think we are going to see meet aliens in our lifetimes? I feel like, knowing what we know about the universe and the fact that there's just so many different galaxies out there, I think it's mathematically impossible for us to be the only life in this universe. I don't know, maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. I just feel like that there is, at the very least, enough evidence to suggest that there are enough galaxies out there and planets that, at the very least, have the conditions that we have to create the type of life that we have here on Earth. But I also feel like there's probably other forms of life that don't necessarily need to live based on the parameters that we define as life. Now I'm getting, like, really weird and out of the... going off the deep end here with my theories. But I do think there is life besides us in the universe. I just think, bare minimum, mathematically, with all of the different galaxies and planets, somewhere in the universe there has to be at least a couple of other planets that have life. And I'm not saying, like, humanoids like us. I'm not even saying, like, the green aliens with the big eyes as we have them portrayed as. But there has to be other living beings out there besides us. Just saying. Alright, we're going to do a couple more games before we call it a day. Alright, you're back. Alright, so I just went off the deep end here while you were away. And here we go. life outside of Earth. Yes or no? What are your thoughts? And I'll restate my case. I think there is life beyond Earth. I'm not necessarily saying there are humans beyond Earth, or what we perceive as humans, or what we perceive as aliens, like the green creatures with the big buggy eye. No. Not necessarily. But I feel like knowing how large the galaxy is, and how many different planets there are, and everything that's out there, I just feel like it is mathematically impossible for Earth to be the only planet in which it has, like, all of the circumstances to create life. I feel like there's got to be other planets out there that, bare minimum, have a similar enough set of circumstances to create life on that planet. And there's probably other definitions of life that we as humans don't currently understand, of like, hey, there's probably beings that don't necessarily need this exact criteria to live that we have not encountered yet. But even if just sticking to our criteria of what is living, I just feel like there's got to be more planets out there that have this same set of circumstances. Ian says there's definitely life. I think we've already found single-cell organisms on other planets and stuff like that, but I agree with you that logically there is probably another planet where more significant life has been able to develop similar to Earth. The moon, we haven't... Yeah, the moon, we haven't been to other planets. Yep. There's gotta be. And I would love to be... I hope I am here for the day when we find life. Maybe it's aliens, maybe it's not. But whatever that is, I would love to be here for that. And the ramifications for us living on Earth, and what that means to, I think at work when I was talking, there's one of my coworkers who also kind of has a fascination with life outside of Earth when we've talked about it, and he was just like, yeah, the religious leaders are going to have a field day answering questions relating to that one. And I was like, oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about that angle. And that idea of us being the center of the universe and the only people here, or whatever. And Ian says, although there is that whole 1 million balls thing where even Earth having life is basically a miracle. Yeah. If I still think, like, the universe is big enough to have more than one miracle. That is my thinking on it at this point in time. Yeah, you certainly hope so. We're probably gonna lose here. This is not great. Ah! Okay, we're donezo. Alright, let's do one more game of Tetris. And then, for funsies, Ian, would you be interested in doing a Pokemon raid? We'll just tack this on at the very end. Dun, 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 dun. Sure, you'll jump on for that. All right, we'll do one more Tetris game. We'll do one Pokemon raid. You don't have to be at the exact same thing. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you don't have to be in the exact same den to trigger a raid. You just have to look at the list and find my name once I trigger it. So yeah, you have to do the Y connect thing, connect to the internet, and then the list on the side should be the raid when I pick it. Alright. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, da, da. Alright, sorry, just checking something on my computer here. Alright. Alright, time to get ready. One more time. And yeah, before we wrap this up, the stream schedule for next week, a preview of what's happening. On Wednesday, we'll be streaming Pokemon Sword and Shield. Oh man, that's like... Oh, Thursday's Thanksgiving for you guys. So yeah, the night before Thanksgiving, I'll be streaming some Pokemon Sword. And on Sunday, we will not be playing Tetris 99. Gonna take a bit of a break from that. We will be streaming Overwatch instead. So this Sunday, we'll be playing Overwatch. Haven't decided if it's going to be the PS4 version or the Switch version. But we will be playing Overwatch, get my Hanzo and Ash going again. That should be fun. It's been a while since I've played that game. Like, I know I haven't streamed it since the marathon, but I haven't really played it since either, just with all the other games that have come up. So it'll be fun. Go shoot some stuff, pew pew, and all that. Ian, what's the plan for rest of your plan for today? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Wow. We are playing. Oh. Oof. No! Wow, that was like the worst Tetris game of my life. Not actually, though, but that was horrible. Alright. Yeah, let's bail out. I think I need to cut my losses and move on. Let's go play some Pokemon instead. We're just gonna do one quick raid here. Let me change my settings as well here in Twitch, just so we're not broadcasting in Tetris anymore. Alright. Ian says, I gotta go grocery shopping at some point. May try to write a blog post. And tonight, I am running the first session of a new Dungeon World campaign. Ooh. Dungeon World. Yeah, my wife and I did groceries recently as well. It was the first time in a while, TBH. I get, maybe it's different once you have kids, but like, I don't know, my wife and I are pretty busy. It can be hard to get to the grocery store, and we just like get complacent, just order out a lot, but that gets really expensive too. Alright, let me go find a den. Ooh. I still want to catch that Snorlax. Let's run over... Oh man, that would be cool to catch. But I definitely don't... I don't think I'm high-powered enough to get that. So we'll let's not mess with that. Dusty Bull, Wild Area. Alright, eyes on the prize. We're going to go and try and get to that raid signal over there. Actually, first things first, I gotta connect to the internet. Connect. Alright, now connected. So Ian, when you go to the Y Connect after you connect to the internet, you'll press X to load new stamps, and that'll mine will show up there. So here, I'm gonna go here. You gain 300 watts. All right, so I'm gonna invite you now. I think that's a Litwick. So when you go to Y Connect, make sure to look at your notifications and then look for my name, and you should see me there. Also, that's the first time I've seen other people in the world. That's kind of cool. Yeah, for those just tuning in, I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Personal look at video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. Going to try and do... Oh! Milliard joined. Ian, get in here. Oh, that's you? Oh, okay, cool. Alright, let's battle. And start. Just the two of us. You don't have four... Okay, fine. Here we go. Ooh, I did not balance the audio for this particular game, so if this is a little loud, I apologize. Dynamax energy gathered around Jet. Oh, can I... Oh yeah, I have to Dynamax for the squad, right? Let's go Max Geyser, because that's the one that's gonna do the most damage. Da-da-da. Oh yeah, I have to move my camera here. Yeah, get him. We're wearing the same glasses. Nice. Oh, yeah, I probably should just keep the camera here. Oh no, here, we'll move it over here. There we go. Bang! One shot. It started to rain. Throw a Pokemon. Oh, did I just take it out for us? Oh, I threw the wrong ball. Oh, no. That was quick. Alright, maybe we needed to pick a tougher opponent. One, two. Can I break out of this? I'll take a Litwick, though. There we go. Alright, Ian, raids. I've never seen them break out, but it may be possible. Alright, we'll send that to the box. And if there's a one close by, maybe we'll do one more. If not... Let's see if we can find, like, one more raid portal. And hopefully we can get, like, a stronger one. Yeah, I've never seen other people in the world. It definitely impacts the frame rate of this game. It's kind of cool seeing other people in the world, though. I like it. Oh, no! I did not mean to... Aw, man. I did not... Aw. Let's run. We should be fine, right? Yeah. Get out of here. Run along the edge here. Yeah, that really tall one with the swirly things. That one makes me think that's going to be like a super strong one. Let's try that one. Hold up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out, time out, time out. We have unfinished business here. Yes, can we catch it? Oh my goodness. Okay. Whirlpool. Let's go. Man, Inteleon is like as tall as a Snorlax? That thing's crazy tall. No pressure, Jet. No pressure. Let's go with the snipe shot. Bang. Oof. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna like let the Whirlpool do its thing. But now I need to catch Snorlax like right now. Yes! We did it! We did it! Snorlax, we did it! You're on the squad. Fantastic. Hooray! Alright, so Snorlax has to be on the team. Like, just has to. Add to the party. Who's getting dropped? So this is my team right now. Inteleon, Farfetch'd, Corvisquire, just because it's new. Machoke, Pikachu. Yeah, Machoke, you gotta go. Bye. Tell that boy. Bye. Okay, let's get to one more den, and we will... Actually, do I need to heal up anybody for the raids, or they automatically heal? Oh god, that frame rate, though. Also, I don't remember where I'm supposed to go. I beat the fourth gym, and I don't remember which path I'm supposed to go to next. I like, after every gym, going to the wild and, like, capturing new stuff I couldn't capture before. Like that Snorlax. Alright, Ian. Let's get it. Invite others. Go. Oh, wait, if I don't Dynamax, can you Dynamax? Just because I was the first one to go. Yeah, how about that? I'm not going to Dynamax, but you can Dynamax. Because, yeah, we'll see what this is. Oh, I should have brought Snarl. Oh, man, I can Dynamax Snarl. Oh. I'm hyped. Alright, Wingull. Bring it. Not very effective. Okay, this is... We're gonna have to switch. Oh, no! Oh, no! I brought the wrong Pokemon to this fight. Well. Sorry, guys. Ooh. Huge shot. Whoa. Uh-oh. Get him, Ian. Yeah. Oh, Milliard can Dynamax now. Alright. Though I think it's going to end right here. Let's go U-turn. Yeah, get him, Ian. Such a good doggo. Oh, it still got him though. Oh, you're. I'm sorry, you're. Fine, Premier Ball. Well, at least we got to see him giant. Yep. Alright, we'll add Wingull to the collection. I'm probably not going to add Wingull to my team. Like, no interest in that. But we did get a Snorlax today, which was totally not expected for the Tetris 99 stream. But I will take it. Oh, nope. Didn't want to add to the party. Send to the box. Alright, let's make sure we save our progress here. And that's going to do it for today. Thank you, Ian, for dropping by. Thank you to Shadow and Ribbon for coming by as well. Thank you to Sobaseb for coming through. Thank you to everybody that lurked the stream today. Thank you to everybody that hosted the channel today. So that's J606, Too Tall For You Fool, Double Jump, Literally Tony, and Player 2 Start. And we will be back on Wednesday playing some more Pokemon Sword and Shield. We'll continue our campaign. Ian, if you're interested, we can do more raids. We can probably also fight at least once, if you're interested. And then on Sunday, we'll be back with Overwatch. So first time in a while we've played that one. We're going to go back to it. And make sure to check out my website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. I put up a review of this Logitech Brio camera, and I wrote some pieces this week about Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon Sword and Shield. So make sure to check those out if you haven't already. And Ian says, probably can't fight because the chances of me being as far as you by Wednesday are very low. Okay. Doesn't it... If we do fight, don't normal rules like normalize the stats of the Pokemon anyway? Here, let's find out. Back to the game. Here, if I say versus, and... Are you still in Pokemon, by the way? Number of players compared. What is the difference between Battle Stadium and... You can connect with other trainers around the world or take part in linked battles and various battle competitions against one another. Ranked are the real deal. Yeah, how do I connect with friends, though? What is live competition? Oh, is live competition like you can watch other people fight? They normalize the levels, but the effort values make a difference. Even when our levels are equal, my Pokemon would have generally lower stats and possibly worse moves. Okay. Then we won't do that then. Alright, maybe we'll stick to raiding then. Oh, that Gyarados. I don't have a thing that lets me swim there yet. Alright, before we just dive down the rabbit hole of playing like 8 more hours of Pokemon, let's just get out of here. Thanks, everybody, for dropping by. My name is Jet. Hope to see you guys on Wednesday. And we out. See ya.